All right, so I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. I wanted to have somebody record me while I kind of give a brief description of my first ever vocals encounter between me and my wife out in the big thicket, the big sandy unit. So I finally got that opportunity to do it, and I'm really hoping to have the opportunity to do other areas as well that I've had encounters at. Kind of keep a good video log that way and share it with you. But the following is it's my, or shall I say, my wife and I's encounter the 2 nights out in the big sandy unit of the big thicket. And basically, I get to record at the same location these incidents happened. So it was great to finally be back in the same area where this happened at. And this was a good few years ago. I haven't been back in about a year, up until our May 1st investigation out there that we did this year that I just previously posted a video on. So a big appreciation to Dave Dion for doing the camera for me. And hopefully I get to get out to the other areas soon and start getting a good recording of those videos as well. As I give a description on what happened and all that good stuff. It's so much better to see the place that you're actually at, see the environment. It just kind of makes you feel like you're there. So please enjoy, and thanks for watching. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel, and join us on Facebook as well.
So this is the end of the pipeline. It ends at a creek right down there. Not but about about 50 yards right there. Those little fingers of the pipeline, one here and one there, and one on the other side of that thicket. And we got out here the first night at 10:30. Put our tent, I believe it was right here. And we were putting up our tent and stuff. Right by 11 p.m. at that time. We didn't even get our tent halfway set up. We started whooping from right across that little pipeline right there. Real close. Of course, all this was grown up because they did the burn recently. Keep that in mind. So it was all thick. Couldn't see anything. And they whooped all night long. So about 5 o'clock in the morning, you could hear them break some branches back there. You could hear them kind of walk up and then walk back. Everything was perfectly, no noise at all. Air was stagnant. But that went on all night. That made my wife become a believer right there. She was pretty surprised at that. We got no sleep that night. Now the next day, we decided we're going to go up and get some stuff at the store. All right, so coming down this trail on day 2, after we made the store run, in a Subaru Crosstrek at the time. You can come down here. We didn't come down the pipeline this time. We came down this back trail, which comes to the pipeline also. And this wasn't all flooded at the time. Still, we sank here. And I don't know why. The last time we drove through it, we didn't sink, but we sank this time. And I spent about 3 hours trying to get out of here making lots of noise. And keep in mind, the night 1 we'd already had activity all night long. So, finally ended up leaving the car here because it was starting to get dark. Decided to hike back to our camp, which is where we're going to go now. And I'll explain more as we go. Alright, so me and my wife finally get out to the pipeline here, which isn't far from the car back there. It's getting dark. We've got to go way down there because our camp is way down there. We start walking on this trail on the pipeline. And all this over here is thick, real thick. But they've had a burn lately, so it's not that thick right now. But before the burn, you couldn't see in there at all, hence the big thicket. And right about when we got to this pole right here, we got whistles, 2 of them that whistled. And we kind of froze in our tracks. Now, they weren't simultaneous, they were both kind of almost on cue with each other. And my quickest reaction was just to whistle back, but I whistled a different tone, and I don't remember what the tone was, something like. And they both mimicked the whistle perfectly. And me and my wife are just kind of shocked, because then we know they've been watching us the whole time. with all the racket we've been making trying to dig the car out. So I just put my hands up in the air and said, hey, we're just going back to camp. I'm not here to mess with you. And they didn't make any more noise, and we headed on down the pipeline. Now, after we walked back down the pipeline from getting whistled at, we come right here and we pull a cot out of the tent because we forgot our chairs, and we sit down. And from right across where that thicket is, there's a little runoff down there. It slopes down. Pitch dark. And we sit down and we get this big growl. It's just like. And me and my wife look at each other like, what the hell? But I told her, I said, I think that's just Big Daddy telling us that now we're back at camp to keep our asses at camp. And it wasn't 10 minutes later they started back in on this side. Whooping, just perfect, those perfect, beautiful whoops. And that went on till about, oh gosh, I think about 3:30 in the morning. It went quiet. And then imagine baby chimpanzee or something. Real excited, real happy. Just started in and sounded like, just, it would sound like a baby chimpanzee, strangely. And then it shut off. And then about 5 minutes later, and there's sheet metal all over this place, which you guys have seen today from old homesteads. Well, you hear that thing start to beat on this sheet metal right over there. Just beating on it. Bang, 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 loud. And then he would go off with his little baby monkey sounds, you know, all excited. And then back to banging it, banging it. This went on for about an hour. It was really cool for about the first 15 minutes, but after that, it was kind of aggravating, you know. We're on like night 2, no sleep, man, because it's been so crazy out here. So finally he stops and they start whooping again. And like I said, you still hear the branches breaking. You can hear them walking. You can hear them kind of walk towards us and then back off. And it was kind of spread out from over here to the left all the way down here. So I don't know how many there were, but they were not aggressive at all. It was like an exciting whoop. And it was like the perfect whoop like you would hear on the Sierra sounds if you've heard those. And but the big guy over here, we never heard from him again. So I'm pretty sure we were right on cue on what he was trying to tell us with that growl. Because we definitely didn't leave the camp again. And I don't think she was going to leave anyways. So, but that was it for that experience. That next morning, we got out of here. We got our car, a tow truck down there and got it out. And that was it. And we were done for a little while. And back then I didn't have any recording devices, no thermals, nothing. And the funny thing is, 2 nights in a row with that happening, both of us have cell phones. Neither one of us even thought to pull it out and record. Very strange. And I've heard about other people having the same situation where things happen and they don't even think to record it on their cell phones. I wish I would have, because it would have been a beautiful recordings all night long.